everybody, welcome back. This is Super Raspberry Pi here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. Some customers have asked certain questions about sound, controlling, and other options. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about those options. We're going to go over wireless controlling, we're going to go over sound fix issues, and regular build fix issues too. I'll be talking about various aspects in the options section, and I'll be going over a few tips and tricks with the system as well. As you can hear, the sound is working on my Pi right now. It is being played through the LCD monitor I have right here, which is an Asus monitor. And some HDMI TVs sometimes have a little bit of a hard time registering the sound. So if you're having a sound problem, it's typically due to the TV or LCD monitor. Okay, so I'll also be talking about wireless controlling. Today I'll be using my own wireless controller. This is a Switch Pro controller. Okay, as you can see, the lights are on here flashing, which means that it is currently connected. It's not going to display a single dot. It'll just keep going back and forth like this. Examples of how it works. As you can see, it's working just fine. So this is what I'll be using today, and it is wireless. Okay, let's move on. So let's make our way over to the options settings. This always takes a little bit of time. Alright, so here we are at options. This is where you're going to find all of your little tweaks, tips, and tricks. When you enter it in, the first thing you're going to notice is audio tools, controller tools, emulation tools, RetroPie, visual, bezels, fixing the build, configurations for the Raspberry, setup for RetroPie, and some other tools at the bottom. So for an audio problems, you go ahead and enter audio tools. Okay, you can go directly to audio settings if you want to, or you can go through these couple of fixes here. So it says audio fix apply first. It states down here, try first as HDMI configure audio by Easy Hacks, which is the person who got this going. So you just press this and it'll go ahead and take you into that fix. If you're using 1080p, go ahead and use that fix, or if 720p, use that fix as well. And then you can turn on or off the background music as well with the Pi. Also, you can enter audio settings. This will take you to a blue screen. Okay, let me get a little closer here. So, at the blue screen, you see auto, headphones, and a 3.5mm jack, HDMI, and mixer options. Okay, or you can reset it to default. So you select, do you want it to auto detect? Do you want to use headphones? Do you want to use your HDMI sound? And then you can adjust the sound settings from that, and then you can always reset it to default situation. So that is where you're going to get your audio settings. So apply these fixes right here to try to mess with the HDMI audio settings. I haven't had too many people complain about the audio with this, but there has been a handful of people that have had issues. And for those people that have had issues, I had one person be able to solve their issue by using this fix. Okay. So for you guys today, I'm going to show you how to connect a PlayStation 4 controller. I'll be using this PlayStation 4 controller for testing today. Please note that this is wireless, and that connecting a wireless controller can be a little tricky sometimes. So don't give up if it doesn't work the first time. Try and try again. Once this is paired though, you got this thing ready to go as soon as you turn on your system. Today when I turned on my system, all I had to do was just tap a button on my Pro controller and it connected. Same thing with the PlayStation 4 controller. If you don't have PlayStation 4 or you don't have a Nintendo Pro controller, then you can try other wireless controllers as well. I have heard online that the 8-bit Duo wireless controller works well. I am planning to get one of those and try it for myself, I'll let you know when I grab that, and then I will do another video talking about the 8-bit Duo controller on the Raspberry Pi. Alright, so when you want to connect a wireless controller, you're going to have to go to Bluetooth settings. So go and enter into RetroPie Tools and Bluetooth. Alright guys, so just kidding, it's not, I screwed this up. It's not these two buttons, it's actually the PlayStation button and the share button here. So you press these two and it should start flashing. So you see that flashing? That means it's searching. So go ahead and click Register and Connect Bluetooth Device at this time. And it might take a few tries for it to connect. Let's give it a shot here. So there it is, right there you see wireless controller. So you go down here and you select it. And then you select display yes, no. There you go, it works. So you see the blue light is now on, which means the controller is now connected. Look. So cancel. Go back. Let me zoom back here. And there you go. You have the PlayStation controller now connected. So that is how you guys connect a controller to Bluetooth. Okay? And that is wireless controlling. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. So here we are in RetroPie Tools. If you want to know basic system info, you can click this button here. And then you can also check out other options here. If you want to overclock your Pi, you can. Now, when you guys receive your Raspberry Pis that I send out to you, I already overclock it, and I'll show you how much. So you can see right here, you see the overclock settings. So overclock 1600, 700, 1750, and 200. So that is 1.6 gigahertz, 1.7 gigahertz, 1.75 gigahertz, and 2 gigahertz. Whereas the GPU can overclock to 500 megahertz, 600 megahertz, 620 megahertz, and 620 is typically the highest overclock. When I ship mine out to you guys, I have yours overclocked the second tier. I'd overclock it at 1700 megahertz, and then your GPU is up at 600 megahertz. If you go any higher, your Pi can be unstable and it can crash on you, or you can, even kill your Pi doing that. I make sure that 1700 is a safe overclock and has been tested over time. If you want to overclock at a higher rate, then I would suggest rebuilding the case and getting a better, larger heatsink. What would a larger heatsink look like? I'll show you. So this is my Pi that I use, and I have this gigantic heatsink on it. Now this might not be ideal for everybody because you might want to have your Pi, inside of some kind of cabinet or whatever, and this is a very bulky, large thing. I just have it like this because I don't have mine in a cabinet, and it's just kind of nice to be able to overclock it at its high levels. Okay. I'm going to exit because I'm not going to change my overclock on my Pi. And that is overclocking for the Pi. Then you have other settings as well. Okay, let's take a look at visual tools. If you have bezel, if you don't like bezels, okay, you can get rid of them. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna click Bezel Project here. Just hit yes, and now you'll see this menu. From my experience, and this is gonna be slightly irritating for some, if you want to get rid of the bezels, you can try the disable. I have tried this and I have not had luck on the system. So what I've had to do is I've had to uninstall the Bezel project completely. And that will remove all the bezels for the games if you don't want the bezels. Now, you can get them back. You just have to enable all of them all over again. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to do that. It's not that big of a deal, but it is slightly annoying. So if you wish to get rid of the bezels, you're gonna have to get rid of all of them. Unless you can figure out a way to get the disable system to work. I've been having problems with that. But you can get rid of them if you don't like them. And then if you realize I want them back, you can also re-enable them as well. So you just go to the uninstall and do that. And then you would go back to the download system style bezel pack, or you'll go down to the download theme style. If you download system style bezel pack, it will download all the bezels for that system, and it'll be the console itself. So it'll have pictures of like an N64 or pictures of a arcade main machine, or you'll have a picture of whatever the console is for that game. If you want it to be theme based, then it'll have pictures of that game you're playing. So if you're playing Zelda, it'll have Zelda game pictures. If you're playing Super Mario, it'll have Super Mario pictures. If you're playing Galaga, it'll have Galaga pictures, so on and so forth. And that is how to remove. So removing bezels, you go to uninstall here. If you want them back, you either pick the theme download or this. And then when you click it, it looks like this. So I can update. Oh, let's see. There it goes. I haven't installed MAME yet, so watch. This is what it looks like when you install it. So I click OK. And then at the bottom, you'll see a little coding down here, System Start. And it'll keep going and going. Right now I'm at 49%, so this might take a little bit of time. I'll go ahead and we'll skip to the end. Okay, so we have it downloaded now for the MAME, and you can see it's all together. Oh, we're almost there actually. It's at 95%. I started up a little bit early. That's okay. We'll give it a few seconds here. And it's finishing up. And it'll run through this script right here. If you see this, do not freak out. This is normal. This just means it's going through all the different bezels and it's applying them to the Raspberry Pi system. Alright. Now we're going to exit here. Alright, let's keep going. You have other visual tools here. If you want to download a different theme, you can do that. So you just enter emulation station themes. And then you'll see a list of different themes you can download. I would highly recommend going to GitHub and checking these out for yourself before you download them. But there's a whole lot. I believe there's about 150 of these themes. So you just click the theme and you install it, and then you're good to go. Alright. So with each system, I actually incorporate all the possible themes for that system. So this theme right here is Super Sweet's theme. I also labeled it on the website as Slick Bluey theme, but it's actually technically called Super Sweets. So let me show you something. You go, press start, go in the main menu, you go to UI settings, okay? You go down to theme set. So let's say you want to go to your comic book theme. You select comic book, and then you exit. And when you exit, it's going to freeze. Give it some time, the background will turn gray, and then you can then see the new theme. There it is. And then, boom. We have a comic book theme. With the comic book theme, some of the titles don't have comic book kind of style to them. That's very common with some themes. If you want to go to options, it's no longer called options, it's called RetroPie. Okay, you click that, and then you'll get all the tools that you saw before. Alright, let's check out another theme. Let's check out the Mario theme. It's called Mario Blue. We'll freeze again and give it some time for it to load up. Okay, there we go. And you'll see we have the Super Mario World theme. This theme is okay. It's probably one of the best Mario themes that are on there. You can see the blocks down here, the Super Mario World theme. Some of the only thing that's kind of annoying about this theme is the titles, like Atomic Wave, Open Board, 3DO, you know, the different things. Some of them don't have the brick style to it, and that's just the person who created this theme. Okay. Now let's find options in here. So this options is also called RetroPie. You'll see on the left hand side you'll get audio options and different things. The only thing about here is you don't have the pictures. Okay, so that's kind of one downside too to Mario Blue. Alright. And then the other theme is going to be Carbon theme. Go ahead and wait a second for that to load. And now we have the classic kind of RetroPie look, the Carbon theme here. You can, not all of these systems will have the red laser looking Stranger Things-esque outline of the controller, but a lot of them do. And in this one as well, you also have RetroPie as being the system settings, where you'll have the tools you'll need to use to, you know, mess with the Pi. That being shown now, I'm going to go ahead and switch it back to my original theme that I like, which is the Super Sweet theme. This one takes longer than the others. Okay. And we're back at the Superseat theme. If you want to set your system to turn on and start with a specific system, you go to UI settings, and let's see. You go down to start on system. For me, I start on the N64. You just select, you press this, and then you select which system you want to start on, and then you select it and it'll work. Alright. Alright guys, I've shown you some things here and there. We've talked about wireless controlling, bezels, on and off systems, and a few other things on the side. For my final showing for this video, I will go ahead and move over to Pixel. So you guys will have this, I think I passed it. You guys will have this thing on here called Pixel. There it is. Pixel is where you access the actual desktop for your Pi. Alright, so Pixel is not a game, it's Raspbian. It is the image, it is the software of the actual game, and this is where you get down to the nitty-gritty. Give it a little bit of time, it will pop up. Alright, now I don't have a mouse plugged into this right now, but you can see clearly that this is a desktop. I kind of want to... I could, here. Let me unplug my mouse really quick. I have to go behind my computer and get to it, because the controller's not going to work. Okay, sorry. Pull my mouse through here. Sorry, All Might. Didn't mean to knock you down there. Just want to plug in my mouse into the Pi. Okay. Zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so this is the computer setting here. So if you go into this top corner area, you get a drop down menu. It's probably really small, so let's focus on this thing over here. I'll just move it in. So you see accessories, education, different games, graphics, internet, office, other programming, sounds and video, system tools, preferences. So it's kind of like almost like a Windows screen here. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm trying to do a couple things at once. So some accessories we have will be files. So if you go to files, you click this, and you get a little loading tile here. I'm going to set this down again. My awful, horrible camera skills right now. Okay. So you get code, box, all this different kind of stuff. Okay, etcher, documents, pictures, all kinds of interesting files that we have here. And you can scroll down and you can see all kinds of different stuff. Okay, you have MooPin right here. You have pictures, scripts. So let's go into RetroPie. If you go into RetroPie, you can see ROMs right here. And then you can select any file, really. Let's go to Game Boy Advance, why not? And you can see all the games that are in here. So potentially, if you want, you could take a USB stick, stick it into the Pi, it should register on here, and you can drag and drop a ROM into a file, and then you can have a custom ROM. So if there's ROMs that you want to switch out on here, you can do that. Be aware, though, that it is not tested, and it's completely up to you what you try to add and change, and if it doesn't work, that is kind of on you, because I'm not there to oversee what's happening. So proceed at your own caution, but it is doable, okay? Obviously, because these had to get put on here in the first place. So this is where the ROM files are located. So you go into your home settings, you go to files. Once you get files, you open up this, you go down to RetroPie, you click ROMs, and then you'll get access to all the different files here. All right. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you would like to get more content on Raspberry Pi. I'll also be talking about a few other things. I do have a purchase coming in with Sinden Light Guns. I'll be doing a review on the Sinden Light Gun. If you don't know what a Sinden Light Gun is, I would suggest going to his website. He's created the first legit working LCD screen light gun. Most light guns have to use cathode TVs, and that's how you can point and shoot. But with the ones that have been coming out previously that work on big LCD screens, they have latency issues, and there's a lot of sensors everywhere that have to pick up material. So Sinden now has interesting software he created. I'm not going to go into details, but it seems to be working without latency drag, almost like how a mouse and computer work, okay? So your mouse plugged into your computer works pretty fast. There should be no latency with it or no drag. So the Sinden should be working almost like a mouse on a screen. So the point and shoot games and light gun games are seeing a comeback. I'll be getting that around November. That's the projected date. When I get that, I'll be sure to do a review on the Sinden Light Gun. Hit like, hit subscribe, and thank you guys again for watching the Super Raspberry Pi channel. Stay safe out there.